Hey, what's going on? I'm gonna do a weekly review. Let's start off with a dollar. You can see on the weekly chart here, I had a sideways week and put in a double top. I was right below our target. It looks like it opened up. And as a matter of fact, I think that it gapped up on the open today in the futures market. So we'll see a little retrace on that as it hits previous lows. So anywho's, it opened up for the week. It's got to take out that double top, otherwise it's going to come back into support, which is likely. Coming into the monthly chart, you can see the breakdown and then the bearish retrace back into resistance. Didn't quite make the natural point of return, so I'm going to have to go bearish on the longer term here. It's got to take out that double top on the weekly chart. So once it gets down into support, we'll have to see what's going on. But watch for support levels to back off, as this is the first try into the 34. If we can base sideways below 96, that'll be fine. But watch it as it comes into support. Does the support hold when the opposing point comes in here? S&P above its trend there on the weekly chart, still hanging 10. I do have a 2-bar reversal though. Spinning top. I got a hanging man a couple weeks ago. That's the close. I'll watch for a dip below 25.47 on that weekly chart. On the daily chart, it's having some trouble here. It came all the way through the 813 back into resistance, and so far it is having a hard time getting it back above there. So support down at the 34. Daily chart's got a lot of work to do. The breakdown back into resistance and watch it fall over. That's what I'm looking for. A confirmation on the previous lows. The breakdowns. VIX looks like a good daily chart there, turning around. The nice blast off, coming back all the way back in, and a little reversal pattern there. Back above the 34 on the daily. Watch for previous high breaks. And then we have a long-term line of resistance coming down. So watch as the price is getting squeezed down here at the bottom. Look for a pop across there. Long-term chart. Natural point of return is in and around 15, so see if we can get there this week. Dow Jones. Same thing on the daily chart, kind of broke down. I'm looking for a head and shoulders top here, left shoulder, head, a rounding top here, standard. Broke down back into resistance to make the right shoulder and then fall over. Weekly chart close, 2-bar reversal. So let's watch for previous low breakdowns. Weekly chart on NASDAQ, still hanging 10. It's got a spinning top there. Hanging above support on the daily. Came through the 8 bounce, made a nice little hammer. Watch for the confirmation of that hammer above 30, what is that, 63.16. Otherwise, watch it fall over, as this pattern is a bearish piercing pattern, as it opens up and closes all the way in. 2-bar pattern bearish, of course. Oil looking for the sideways action to break the top here again into 70 range. Still looking for the 70 mark. Nice bullish posture there. Cross at 34. Sideways action pop. 2-bar reversal. Previous high breaks. Runt. And the long-term oil pattern is going to be pretty bullish for a while. Watch for any kind of retracements back into the pattern for support. Otherwise, watch previous highs as it breaks on through. I'm looking for a previous high of 70 over here to break into. Looking for previous high breaks on the dollar yen trade. Looks like it's got a little rounding top here, so look for any kind of retracements. Try to break that top to continue on. Nice little cup, nice little handle. Let's see if we can't keep this going into the natural course or return it up into the 118 range. Got to take out that double top. I'm thinking it's going to come back in and then sharp U across 118. Got to take out this head and shoulders top over here. See if it has enough gusto, momentum. Gold. Trying to figure out if this is going to hang 10 up here or is it going to fall over a bit. Higher lows throughout. 2-bar reversal. Hammer off the support. 2-bar reversal. It's hanging on a thread. I think it's going to pop across, hit that support line again, and then swing back across. I'm worried because I have a cross up here of momentum dying out. The 8's crossing over the 13. Daily, I got higher lows. I got crushed on Friday. You can see that crush on the 60-minute chart. But no one basing pretty nicely. I got a hammer. Watch for previous high breaks across 1276. Getting above 50% roll of that long red candle is probably key to keep momentum intact. So 1280. Making sure this week we hold 1260. This first dip, I'm thinking it's going to cross, come back into resistance, and have to come back in. It was a pretty heavy drop off there. But once the drop off, the bearish retrace comes in, and then it has to hold 1260. I'm thinking 1260 it has to hold this week. We're going to have a hell of a time if it breaks down, especially on that long-term pattern there. Monthly, I'm still bullish. So let's make this little return a little short and sweet, as we're well above support lines on monthly chart. Over the 34, over the 34. Just gotta break those tops and we're home free. It's not too far off the mark. 13's first, holding 1260 is key. Looks like on the monthly it has support all the way into 12. It breaks down 12, all bets are off. Gotta get above those previous highs, cross that 813. Double top up here, it's gotta be taken out. And a 2-bar reversal over that resistance, so it doesn't feel good. Looking for a longer opposing point, I guess, if it breaks down. Put in a lot of work here. Be a shame if it dropped all the way back down. Silver, I still have the reverse head and shoulders here. It looks like gold and silver has opened up slightly, but nothing too drastic here. I'm closed a inverted hammer. Don't let it turn into a falling star on the downside. But inverted hammer, make sure we take that out. Let's get back above 617. Daily chart, again, higher lows throughout. May even be a slight head and shoulders top. You can see the drop off on the slam down on Friday. Make sure we hold support at 1660 all the way to 1640. I would look for a reversal. This is a bearish retrace on the 4-hour. The slam down, the sideways action, I'm looking for, let's see if we can't hold 1676 first. If that breaks down, looks like it'll come all the way back in to 1640. Make sure we hold 1640 for sure. That's the intradays. You got to hold that. A line of support there to hold those shoulders up. Reverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Look pretty promising. It's a nice bullish pattern. The pattern is complete, but it's not doing anything. As a matter of fact, it got slammed down. So watch for pattern failures. Longer term too, I got a left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Now it's coming back into a pinch. Let's hold this right shoulder all the way through. Looks like on a weekly chart we have plenty of time to accumulate. Make sure we don't break down on that one. What's copper? Copper made a high. Was that 330 or so? A little stair step into support. It looks like it's going to drop over though. Those handles can come all the way back in on the cup side. So look for, let's hold 3 o'clock. It could turn on a dime at any moment. Watch for the previous high breaks at 310. Right across that 8, get it back above previous highs, and we can continue the momentum. Gold silver ratio. Still 75 ounces of silver per 1 ounce of gold. Silver is just a better buy throughout. But looks like we got a head and shoulders top on the silver here. It looks like it popped across back into resistance, so allow for better prices for gold. Coming up, I guess. Still 70 ounces per 1 ounce of gold. I would be the silver buyer. See the 4-hour chart of reverse head and shoulders off the GDX. Let's see how we closed on a weekly. We have a reversal. Closed below the 34. Came back into resistance. Watch for previous low breaks. As this bearish retrace back into resistance, holding support, could turn into a disastrous fall down. It's got a thin line of support all the way through. And if it does want to break down, let it come down all the way back into the, oh, that's not even a support line. So nice reverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Watch for the previous side breaks. Been waiting too long. If it does break down, watch it come all the way back into the head at 15 in GDX. If it doesn't keep breaking previous highs and it's just sluggish, momentum tends to die and falls over. So be prepared for that. GDX, GDXJ, I imagine they're all in the same boat here. Nice left shoulder, nice head, right shoulder. Right shoulder needs to complete. Watch for the failures. Need to hold support. Make sure we hold support all week. Watch for the whipsaws. Looks like it broke down to 34, held support, came back into resistance, and closed the inverted hammer right over support again. Watch for the break across 33 and above. We can have a three-bar pattern confirmation, 33 and above for GDXJ. Another inverted hammer on Nugget. JNUG. Probably the worst out of all the miners. I'm going to reverse head and shoulders off this corner here. It's got to hold support. It's very thin. It always hugs. It's been hugging support for the longest time. I don't know what the heck it's doing. It feels like it's going to fall over. So we'll have to watch that in the morning, see how it opens. Monthly chart on JNUG. Didn't even hold 16. Looks like a rejection is in and momentum is going to carry. Watch for the previous lows for support, previous lows here for the breakdown. EG. Still struggling on support lines. Nice inverted hammer on the close for the weekly. Nice reverse head and shoulders on the daily. Pretty dramatic there. 2-bar reversal. Over the 34 back into support. Nice little pattern forming on the end here. Watch for previous high breaks. That little reverse head and shoulder looks promising. It's got to hold support, as always. Looks like 7 and above on AG would be awesome. NAK held 2 o'clock again, but it put in a double top. So watch out below. It's got to take out that double top or else the momentum will die. USLV, trying to hold support. Everything got slammed. Hugging support again. Reverse head and shoulders on the right there. Looks like steel's trying to get across the 34 on that weekly. Be nice looking little flat top break. Long-term flat top breaks are awesome. Looks like we came into a top on the daily. Make sure support holds, otherwise it needs to gather its legs and try again. I got support down at that gap, 24.30. If it decides to break down. If it breaks into that gap, then it's liable to fall into the range. Make sure we hold the 34 on the upside. Closing above previous highs all the way up. Got a gap. It needs to move past the gap. Gaps have lots of resistance. Moving through, lots of support coming in. It's caught between the gap. CLF, trying to hug support, doesn't look healthy. The little head and shoulders top up here. The breakdown came into support for a double bottom. Got rejected by the 8. Look for a move across 566. It looks like it wants to get rejected by the 8, and then watch for support to get, watch for volume to carry it across support there. Doesn't look healthy for the first couple days there. Uraniums, all this talk about war, I guess uraniums hit resistance, came back into support there on the daily. Just like everything else, hugging support and had a nice little bounce. 2-bar reversal. A little outside day there. Crossed the 34 all at once in 1 week. UEC, same thing. Crossed the 34 back into support for the close above the 34 on the weekly chart. Very nice. Watch for the previous breaks. Also watch for the rejections. It's got a lot of work to do still on that weekly chart. Daily hit that resistance pretty hard and backed off. So look for anything coming back into support, pick it up, see if you can't break that high. Bitcoin broke down. And a spike high on it. Broke the 8, broke previous lows, came all the way back into the 34 and broke that. And now the bearish retraced back into resistance. So once things break down, intermediate patterns take 3 to 6 months. So if this breaks down, then it'll go down, you know, come back into support. I got previous high, previous low, previous high right here, balance point at 3,000. The measured move across the 34 into the 34, and then over the 34 is in and around 45. So watch for 5,000 to break down and then a dip. See if it can't turn on a dime. 5,000 is a big emotional spot, I imagine. It's probably going to hold right around there. It hit, in some exchanges, it hit 5,000 pretty easily. Let's see if the other one shows it. 55. I thought I saw something come down into the 5,000 range. Anywho, big 2-bar reversal on the monthly or the weekly. So look for prices to come back in 3 to 6 months for an intermediate price pattern. Could take longer, but that has to be taken out in the next week or it's going to fall over. And I think this is the chance for cryptos to pick up the pace. And I think I have Bitcoin Cash in here. Bitcoin Cash on Bitfinex. One thing about Bitfinex is Bitfinex is banning all U.S. residents. I guess the United States government banking system is making it too hard for people to buy or to get their platform legal. I don't know what kind of pressure they're putting on them, but they banned all of U.S. just recently. Makes it pretty hard for United States residents to trade cryptos. Bitfinex is one of the biggest ones, so it doesn't look good for the individual. They're probably going to start pumping some kind of United States crypto coin. So yeah, the breakdown back into resistance is the bearish retrace. Watch for prices to break down. If there's a chance it has high volume to get across 6,200, I'm all for it. It could just come back, swinging back across, making a double top, coming down for a nice little cup and handle off the top there. But once things break down, come back into resistance and get rejected, it usually just comes on in. So pretty good run into the 8,000. I think a good spot is 5,000 for a turn. And watch for the whipsaws past 5,000 into the 55 range for the measured move. Bitcoin Cash, on the other hand, took off on a previous high break at 25 and doubled. Pretty nice since Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yeah. Since Friday. So it looks like Bitcoin Cash is going to be catching up. Moved into second place on the exchanges, right behind Bitcoin. And I believe it has the highest volume today already. Missing Bitcoin Gold. There it is. Sorry. Bitcoin Gold looks like it's going to be live. It got approval to be on the, or I don't know how you say it, the main net. I guess it was on Telenet or something, and now it's going to go on the main net because it's approved to go on the main network, blockchain or whatever. So this is going live. I think it's 7 o'clock tonight. So I'm going to be watching this very closely on the open. Might even buy some. Don't even know. But at 4 cents, 5 cents, no problem. Bitcoin Cash is at 22 per one Bitcoin. So I think Bitcoin Gold is going to have a lot of room to grow here off the open, especially after its approval. It popped and went up like 200%. And it came all the way back down into support, the previous break. It's not there yet. So let's look at Google. Oh, Litecoin. Litecoin still doesn't feel good to me. It looks like it wants to cross here. It's hugging support again. Ethereum looks like it's picking up the pace. And then Dash. Dash had a very good day today, up 50, 60% already. So the fall of Bitcoin is allowing all these cryptos to creep up. I think it is coming to the inflection point that the cryptos are going to start picking up the pace here, especially with all the daily charts breaking across the 34. If you want to pick up trading deal and look at all the cryptos crossing the daily charts off the 34 SMA, you can see that the trends are changing one after another. There's probably a half a dozen of them that have popped across in the past couple weeks now. Let's look at Google. We had a double top here that took that out, came back through, boom. As long as we stay above support on Google, all is well. Got a little rounding top on Apple. Looks like it might come in. Amazon, same thing. Netflix, I have a lower high coming back all the way back into support, but it's crossing at the same time across the 34. So watch for prices to flip across. Facebook, same two, spike high. I've got a hanging man up across there. My beautiful little EOS. I was buying my EOS at Bitfinex, so I had to transfer. But it looks like this is going to break out across 20. Looking for a break across 20. I'm going to rebuy it at the new exchange I went into. It's a smaller exchange, but it's just testing it out. It's HIT, BTC, HIT Bitcoin is the exchange. It's a smaller exchange, but it's got some nice little coins on there. So for a weekly update, I think that's about it. Looks like gold's coming off the bottom. Got to hold its increase. It's got to get across that 8. Look for a push cross into 81280. See if we can't make a bottom out of this. Slam down and then the return. Telling the bankers to stop slamming down our gold and silver, please. So anywho's, I'm bearish on the S&P and the Dow. Everything's got a little flying top there, especially when the VIX is about ready to take off. So I'm bearish this week. Dow, S&P, NASDAQ. Not so much on NASDAQ because all it has was that spinning top, but it did break down back into resistance. So all three, I'm bearish. Gold, I wish they'd stop slamming it down because we could have been across 1300, no problem by now. I wish it would stop being slammed and trade like Bitcoin. There's no reason that gold and silver should be down this low. Absolutely none. It's the bubble of everything, and the real assets are being held down. Doesn't make sense at all. Anyways, please like, share, and comment. Let me know what's going on out there, and I'll see you soon.